The whole essence of life is war. The whole essence of life is war. Either you are fighting or you are not fighting. Either you keep quiet and you are crushed, or you crush your own enemy. Whoever declares Igbo an enemy must be taken as an enemy, and the Igbos must be ruthless with their enemies. What did I say? We must be ruthless with our enemies. Days are gone when the Igbos will continue to talk about Egbe Belugo Bere. Egbe Be Ugo Achon Ko Be, Egbe Be, Egbe Ugo.
Good morning, wonderful people. I welcome you to yet another exclusive interview that I will be having with an erudite scholar in the person of Barrister Uche Okwukwu. Sir, welcome to the Namen TV show.
Thank you very much.
All right. The Equ Question. Recently, the social media went agog by a recent publication by one Mr. Okachukwu Dibia, reiterating how Equ, a people presumed to be a sub-Igbo group, are not by any way related to the Igbos. What do you have to say about this, please?
Well, when my attention was drawn to it, I had to go and get the Nation of May 5th, 2024. That's just 3 days ago, last week, Sunday Nation. I read it. It's titled, "We Are Not Igbo. Rivers Ikwere Blast Iwanyan Ohaneze. Ihuan organization insists ethnic group is distinct." I've read through it, and to me, it's a caricature. It's neither here nor there. He made no sense. He passed no message except doing the work he was paid for. That work is to irritate Igbo, just irritate them. But I would have ignored it and said, look, it's not worth one reading through first in the first place, then talk more of replying. But if you keep silent, people will say he's speaking the truth after some time or after many years. Therefore, I will, on this note, state the following. 1, they said Okachukwu Dibia is not a known person in Ikwere land. 2, his Ihuroha progressive organization is unknown and had not contributed in any way in the past and presently to the struggle of Ikwere people for emancipation. For example, in 1999, when the whole Ikwere youths gathered in Elele to come up with the Ikwere Rescue Charter, which was the first all Ikwere youth convention ever held, he was not a member of the IYC. He never participated. So he had never been part of our struggle for emancipation. He doesn't even know where we are coming from, where we are going to. So I won't take him serious. And I urge everybody not to take him serious. Ikweres, for emphasis, are Igbos. If you read through my article 4 years ago, that's December 5th, 2020, the Vanguard, when I stated in black and white that Ikweres are Igbos, in my reply to Uche when he made this kind of assertion, which he has since dropped his ideas about it. I said we are Igbos. That's 4 years back. So, and I've given reasons. Okachukwu Aka, his name, he said his name is Okachukwu. I don't know what he's calling his name, Akachukwu. But for the newspaper here, what I'm seeing is Akachukwu. In the book, in what he wrote some years back, he said Akachi ku, Akachi, Akachi ku. So I don't know which one to be taken, but be that as it may, we should take what we see in the newspaper to be Akachi, which is the hand of God Almighty. And I don't know. I've read through. I can't even understand what he's saying. I think he just wants to spew on to be reported that he attacked Iwanyan and Ohaneze. And that, apart from that, nothing he has said. That's all he wants to be. And of course, when you say this kind of thing, because of the way Ndigbo are perceived in Nigeria, some people will call him and say, come and take some peanuts and take care of your stomach and your clothing. And that's all, nothing more than that.
Okay. Coming back to the Ohaneze Ndigbo sociocultural group, which we believe you were once the Secretary General. What is their stand on this report, on the Equ Question, and also the unification of Ndigbo?
I said time without numbers that before the Civil War, when all majority of the ethnic organizations were in Nigeria were proscribed by the military government before 1967, the Igbo State Union, which was one of the prominent ethnic organizations then as it were, had our people in it, and nobody can ever deny. We had the likes of Joseph Wobo, we had the likes of Jackson MP, we had the likes of Chief Emmanuel Agoma in the Igbo State Union. And on from 1966 to 1976, when the Igbo State Union was proscribed, before Ohaneze was formed in 1976, at the formation of the Ohaneze Ndigbo, the organizations that midwifed it, Nzuko Igbo, River State, or Nzuko Igbo Port Harcourt, had prominent Ikwere sons like Chief Emmanuel Agoma, Obidike Wonode, Kobule Wonode, Dr. Obiwale, and a lot of others were involved in that movement. And of course, at the formation of Ohaneze Ndigbo with Akano Ebiam as first president and Jerome Odoji as first secretary general, the Ikweres were there. And the Ohaneze constitution is very clear. There are 7 Igbo states: Abia, Anambra, Delta, Enugu, Ebonyi, Imo, and River State. And nobody, no court had declared that constitution void, or the letters and spirit of that constitution void. So Ikwere and the Igbo-speaking part of River State of Ekpe, Oba, Ndoni, Egbema, Eche, and Ikwere are Ohaneze members of the Ohaneze, or to say that they are part of the River State that makes River State to be a state member of Ohaneze Ndigbo worldwide. Having said that, I want to state for emphasis that there is no need repeating myself. I have been speaking on this issue. The Igbo man must be forceful and determined. I know there are internal forces fighting him, apart from external forces. And it's not only us, external forces and internal forces are fighting other groups all over the world. But we must be firm and determined. We must treat our enemies as enemies and treat our friends as friends. You don't use kid gloves on your enemies. The whole essence of life is war. The whole essence of life is war. Either you are fighting or you are not fighting. Either you keep quiet and you are crushed, or you crush your own enemy. Whoever declares Ndigbo an enemy must be taken as an enemy, and the Igbos must be ruthless with their enemies. What did I say? We must be ruthless with our enemies. Days are gone when the Igbos will continue to talk about Egbe Belugo Bere. Egbe be ugo achọghị ka o bee, egbe egbu ugo. Ihe nọ n'ụwa ọgụ. Either you agree that a na-alụ ọgụ n'ụwa, or you are not, you go into extinct. Those who are determined will extinct you. Dibia is an Igbo. The man who wrote this thing is an Igbo. He's Igbo by blood, DNA Igbo, body Igbo. And I would challenge him to tell us his roots. I've read through his works. He said, Equ migrated from Sudan. Oh, the Equ migrated from Benin. Today, it is important for emphasis to debunk the Benin assertion. What is the Benin assertion? The Benin assertion is that the Equerries arrived through their forebearer. That's what those who claim Benin story are saying. Ochichi, during the reign of Obewere. Obewere came to power in Benin in 1530 AD for record purposes. It will interest you to know Obewere came to power in about 1430 AD. And it will interest you to know that the Portuguese explorers, travelers, got to this part of the world in 1400 AD. 1400 AD. I will refer you to the works of Murray Talbot, Peoples of Southern Nigeria, Volume 1, page 238. It is there for anybody to go and read that the Portuguese came here 1400, and when they came, they got to Amafa. They met people, which is by the coast to Ijoland, and that is Ikwere land. They got to Isopo in the headquarters of the present-day Ikwere local government area, 1400, 625 years ago. 625 years ago. That was far after before Obewere came to power. Now, let me refer you to another book. Let me refer you to another book. A Short History of Benin, written by Julius Ehevere. Ehevere is spelled Egharevba. Julius Ehevere. He wrote a book titled His Short History of Benin. He said the earliest migration from Benin was in 1440. This is a Benin scholar writing. In 1440. Before any migration people left Benin, we were here. And the names were given, those the Portuguese met. Now, if you also read the work of the late Oba of Benin, Omo Eredua Opolopolo, who served as Assistant District Commissioner in the Old Ahoda Division between 1954 and 1965 for 11 years. He wrote a book. And the title of the book is, because I've cited that book for you before.
Yes.
I've cited it. The title of the book is important. I bring it out and cite the title of the book. The title of the book is Yes, My Obedient Servant. He said in black and white that the Equerries and the Chase are typical Igbos. He later became the Benin monarch. He was here for 11 years as Assistant District Commissioner in Ahoda. His book is there for anybody to go and read. He said the Equerry and the Eche are typical Igbos. Beyond that, for emphasis, we had ample opportunity to present our case to Henry Willink. We did in 1956 and 57. The report was made public. The report was published April 1958. In that report, it was clear that the Equerries are Igbos. The presentation of the Equerries was that from Port Harcourt to Onitsha was Igbo land. I don't know where they're getting where they're getting their things from. He has said here, he said that his name, Dibia, is an Igbo word. If you read his work, if you read his work, he said his name is an Igbo. He said my son name, Dibia, does not in any way assist to define my personality. Despite the pressure to change it, I have decided to retain it, to remember what Ikwere passed through in the past, representing the experiences needed to rebuild Ikwere. This is in his work, The Challenge of Ikwere Development in Nigeria, published by RUTHLESS Production, 2011. This is at pages 146 to 147. I want to repeat for emphasis. My surname Dibia does not in any way assist to define my personality. Despite the pressure to change it, I have decided to retain it, to remember what Ikwere passed through in the past, representing the experiences to rebuild Ikwere. Then the question is, if your surname is not Dibia, why are you still retaining that surname? Change your name and tell us your surname. He's an adult of over 60 years or thereabout. Change your name and tell us their surname. Why? If my name is not Uche or Okwukwu, at my age I should go and swear an affidavit, change my name and make it public. Publish it in national and daily, local papers, and this is my real name. You said your son, your name, that you said it's not your name. There are pressures on you to change it, and you fail to change it. For the purpose of this interview, I hold that his name is Dibia, and that is an Igbo name. If he has any other name, Dibia means healer, somebody who has knowledge, not only a healer, onye dibia onye ma ihe, onye na-agwọ ọrịa, onye a na-asụrụ anya n'obodo. That's the meaning. Because we never had doctors in this part of the world more than 100 years ago. The first Igbo medical doctor, Dr. Okwukwu, was in 1924. That was when we produced our first doctor. So more than 100 years ago, we never had medical doctors. And I believe his father or grandfather, the name Dibia, was more than 100 years ago. So if he has any other name for Dibia, other than Dibia as called by Igbo, he should go and change it to that name, and we will clap for him. That I know his roots, as I've said, is an Igbo. His DNA is Igbo, his body is Igbo, his blood is Igbo. But I understand too that in this age where anybody needs to speak against Igbo, castigate Igbo, struggle to undermine Igbo, he needs to do this so that you can get some little food and eat. But unfortunately, I sympathize with him, and he will not go far.
Thank you, my barrister. All right. According to what you said on this interview about being, let me use that word, ferocious about being about our identity as Igbo, ruthless. Sorry, okay. Be ruthless with your enemies. Yes. Now, in the political life of Igbo currently, you will notice, especially we that are in the front line of the Igbo unification, we notice that there is a very concerted effort from the Ijo wing, from the Egala wing, from the Benins, encroaching into Igbo territories, trying to shrink up the Igbo communities. What do you have to say about this?
First and foremost, nobody can undermine a people with over 150 million people under the sun. Nobody can undermine a people. The Igbo population under the sun scattered around the world is over 150 million. Can you undermine them? If the Igbos are determined to assert themselves, people will come to them and say, we're Ndi Igbo. When you are weak, people leave you. People will come to them and say, we're Ndi Igbo. Therefore, it behoves us to assert ourselves under the sun. The whole struggle all over the world is a struggle for space. The whole struggle under the sun is a struggle for space. Races are struggling for space. Ethnic groups, nationalities are struggling for space. People are rewriting history. Even through globalization, people are wiping away other people's value, culture, and tradition. Ndi Igbo must assert themselves. I'm happy and proud you are wearing a red cap, which is a symbol of Igbo tradition. Most young men will not want to dress this way. It doesn't, because it will not make them look very handsome in public. But in Namen television, which you are one of the leaders, is doing very well to project Ndi Igbo. The most important thing that Ndi Igbo must assert themselves. If they don't assert themselves, they will disappear from world map. If they don't assert themselves, they will disappear, and nobody will have, history will forget them. Therefore, we must assert ourselves. Now, how do you assert yourself? You assert yourself through different approaches. The most important thing is that you must have organization and leadership. Ndi Igbo must have organization and must have strong leadership. The organization and the leadership jointly will articulate the Igbo agenda now and in the future. That's the most important thing. But above all, we must struggle for political power. In Nigeria, in the diaspora, Igbos abroad must contest elections to go to the Senate and House of Reps in the US. The United States must struggle to find themselves as mayors in the United Kingdom. In Canada, they must struggle. In the universities, they must struggle to become professors, student union leaders. Because you need to be in vintage positions to speak for your people. You can't speak for your people from the bottom of the pit. You can only speak from up, above the ground. They don't give anybody microphone and you do well speaking to the audience sitting. You have to stand. And that's when they will see you and hear you. So wherever we find ourselves, we must struggle to be visible.